to get our best foot forward. We have to create an identity for ourselves. And these songs we played earlier on, one from Oami Kwami, who celebrates his birthday today, titled, I think, Bra or Bra. And then Bisakede featuring Gyakie. And in fact, one of the very first times I heard of Gyakie was through Bisakede when he did the feature on that one. And I loved that jam. And the song we just played for you is coming out from the two artists as well. But one more time, saying happy birthday to Oami Kwami. And of course, he says he's got this brand new boxes, which are eco-friendly. eco-friendly boxer shorts. I'm sure what he means by eco-friendly will be recycled material or dispose. If you dispose it into the, what do you call it? Into the
degrade.
Into what's the word? Decay, right?
Decay.
Yeah, it will decay.
It's biodegradable.
It's biodegradable, yes. So I don't know, but congrats to Oami Kwami. We'll be talking about his businesses though. His business acumen is, on another level as well. There's a photo that's gone viral. I think, I don't know if we've gotten that picture yet, but it's a photo of him in the boxer shorts. Don't zoom in, please.
I'm sure so many people will zoom in today, both male and female.
For those of you who are actually listening via Plus FM, good morning going out to you. You can go and check the socials. Quite a number of people have put it up. Kwame Dazi put it up. I don't know if Kwame Jan put it up as well, but it's going to be on our screens on 3 Music in a couple of seconds. We'll put it up for you to see it. Blue boxers, tight fitting briefs, lovely. I think I have some, but
there's
not
another of him in
specifically
black.
His though. But I have some, and it's nice when a man wears it. I tell you what, it keeps everything nicely fitted.
Yes, contained.
It sure does. It sure does. It's our bodycon, if you ask me. It's our bodycon. So good morning one more time to all our viewers. And Oami Kwami, happy birthday to you. I hear it's 47th birthday, I think.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
We'll
he's
take it nice
47
easy.
and
there
doesn't
you have
make it.
The photo is up there. He himself put it up as well, so you can go and check it out. Let's look at it very well. So you can see Oami Kwami is someone who's maintained his size. He's well trimmed and fit, and flat tummy, as a lot of girls will wish for.
Oh, please.
And lovely. I know.
Oh, please.
I know girls wish for flat tummies. Almost every girl.
Even men wish for flat tummy. Ask Cyril.
I don't wish for flat tummy.
No, not you, but the people some people you know.
Who do I know?
With
Everybody I know
belly.
is fine like this.
With pot belly, they don't want flat tummy.
No.
Even Jay, you with your flat tummy, you want
I don't have
flatter.
flat tummy. I have belly.
You want flatter stomach.
Oh, yeah, I like my pot. My pot's belly is there small. It's beer and it's a shandy. So there you have it. Oami Kwami in his briefs or his brand new biodegradable, or if I can say eco-friendly. They're like boxes, yes. And it reads on his page. It says, "When I was turning 40, I was arrayed." Is that it?
I was afraid.
Oh, I can't see well here. It says, I was afraid. Oh, well, look, if you are watching on the screen before me, the F is missing. Yes, thank you. I was afraid. I thought it will be okay. Sorry, I thought I will be old and weak. I was completely wrong. Today, at 47, I have never this young, this young, and this wild. Now I'm looking forward to 100. Come what may, we move. Happy birthday to me. The present I want from you is to buy boxes for yourself and for your loved ones. I repeat, the present I want from you is to buy boxes for yourselves and your loved ones. And your loved ones. And your loved ones. Buy for us, the men. That one's not here. He says, I've launched them today at Love Equation Biz. That's LOVE, then Equation and Biz with a Z. Call the number there to buy. And you see Arnold Beatty already wishing him a happy birthday, champ. You see Amado Brenner's birthday. He says, happy birthday, legend. Now to the photo itself as well. Lovely blue briefs or boxers by Oami Kwami. And I like that the fact that our
scroller is doing
the scroller, yes, at the bottom is covering a lot of Zoom opportunities.
I think Oami Kwami has become our own sort of Jay-Z, Rock Nation. He now has his what you call it?
Merchandise or
merchandise.
business,
What is it? Merchandise? Would you call it a merchandise though?
Or the book?
No, he has a book. Obviously, he has a book. He has his boxes. I know he's done something for his kids. They have some hair products or some, And I think these are some of the things that actually have kept him relevant in our conversations. Often we look at how artists, transition into a stage or a place where they have to give back. When the spotlight is off you and you're not who you used to be, and everybody is clamoring towards another hot artist. How do you stay relevant? How do you get people to keep talking about you? If you ask me, that photo was definitely intentional, because obviously people are not just going to be talking about the boxer shorts.
They're going
to be talking about the aesthetics with the boxer shorts. Do you get what I'm saying? And it's all part of the strategy to get you in the conversation, and of course get the media houses to call you and have the digital publications write about you, and look back at some of the things you've done. So big ups to him.
I hope it's not in his mother's name though. But D Black put it here. D Black posted a video and wrote on there, "Going to see my mom today. We have to talk business, because and I'm sure this is in reference to
of course
Hakimi's issue,
Ashraf and Hakimi's issue, which is trending as well. Anyway, today we have a few minutes left for our conversation though, but we hope you've enjoyed the show so far. We're going to be talking about, let me just say that last couple of days on Culture Daily, we spoke about new music and the fact that in recent time, it seems Ghana has struggled to get new music out there that has gone super viral. Yes, our top artists, A-list artists are all releasing. Songs are going to a point, but we're looking for that amplification, as well as the songs becoming super hits, not necessarily just number ones on platforms that are being that are only subscribed by people who are using the devices or using that app only. We're talking songs that go viral across to the point, let me take you back to days like when Bookback released Gonja Barracks, take you back to when VIP released their Odo songs, back in a time when you have, we're talking songs going super viral, like Sarkodie, EL, Azonto, when Bisa released Mansa. Now we're looking at such, even Castro as well. All those songs. So it could be, there could be a list of them shared here, but we're looking for songs in recent times. And in recent times, I mean, that's the latter part of 2022, or the last quarter of 2022, that is October, November, December into now. You might say Black Sherif did release a couple of songs, but that was quite a while ago.
Even Countryside. Countryside was the last quarter of 2022.
Yes.
And I think it found its way to the early parts of 2023. I think the video helped with,
that time, as well. Now today is the 17th of April, 2023, and we still don't have songs that have got super viral. Super, super, super viral. No comparison to anybody's song anywhere, but we're looking for hit songs. So we want to today look at some of the songs that are showing face small, if you get me, real quickly as well. In a couple of minutes as well, Ricky Tenneson will be joining us for this conversation in the studio for us to look at that. Ricky's just getting ready.
I think long overdue.
It's long overdue.
Ricky will join us shortly as well, as we're waiting for him.
I don't know why he's always hiding, his talent and his
Ricky has been on.
Just
twice?
once.
Twice?
He was very nervous.
Twice.
Let's say he was
very nervous.
He was shaking.
There's no way. Ricky cannot be nervous.
But he's very loud in our ear.
But
Jay, let me just quickly draw your attention to something. I don't know if our viewers and listeners would agree, but this is just personal opinion. So you could choose to accept it or not, and we can have a good conversation. But Ato Kilson will be joining us over the Zoom line to help us break down what's happening with, especially the Asaka boys with Omalinda. As of last week, they had peaked at number 5 on Apple Music Top 100 Ghana songs, and I think it's a big deal because it's organic. I think it's a big deal because it actually stands to reason about the conversation we have. If if the song is good, people will listen to it, right? If the song is good, you don't have to do much. But Ato has been following the Asaka guys for a while. I would want to find out from him what's really like making it work this time for them. He believes that it's the Asaka guys are onto something very interesting when it comes to evolution of hip life. You know, and when you listen to Omar Linda, do you have that strong, you know, innuendos of hip life in there? And perhaps that might be our identity we are
chasing after.
Yeah, the identity that we need to back and take it global, because that I definitely think the Nigerians are not going to claim because
the Asaka.
Asaka is just, you know, high life mixed with drill, you know, and we've done it. The guys have done it from Sorry to what do you call it? Man, I just had a brain fart. From Sorry to some of the big Asaka songs that we've had. Gyakie has actually released a teaser.
You just had a word.
A brain fart. Yeah.
A what?
Ew.
Brain fart.
Yeah, that's what you said. That's why I'm laughing.
I just had a brain fart.
These upscale people, these Lego English people.
Brain fart.
I just had a brain fart.
Hey, what's a brain fart? What's a brain fart?
A brain fart, like when you are trying to talk and then your brain.
He blocked out. Or blanked out.
Charlie.
But yo, yeah,
Don't do that.
I'll get touch. It's a gas or bottom.
Please, guys.
No, I couldn't help but see the image. I was paying attention to him, and then he just decided to put that image in everybody's mind.
Basically, when you have like a temporary
brain fog,
mental lapse.
The sensible part is brain fog.
Yeah.
Okay, when the thought is there, but
it's fun.
this is pure Queen's English. Listen, Ato Kilson also joins us via Zoom for this conversation. But you've given us some heads ups into this already. Okay, you might finish it before we add Ato to it.
So I'm just saying that the identity we always talk about, that, you know, Ghana needs an identity in the global music conversation and whatnot. We haven't really. I think we have it, but we are not paying attention to it to push it. And I want to believe that Asaka is what we need to look at very well. Like I was saying, Gyakie has a song coming out. It's called Scar.
They have prospects, or they're showing prospects of releasing a song that would do well.
No, they have already shown it. And
which song is that?
There are a lot of Asaka songs.
Okay.
Do you get what I'm saying? There are a lot of Asaka songs that have come out different from what I know as Comerica. The Asaka song, the Asaka genre or sound seems to be what we should actually pay attention to in terms of getting our names or identity in the global conversation. That's just a personal opinion, right? If you look at that, like I was saying, if you look at the song that Gyakie is looking to bring out, I think later this week, is Scar. Is it Scar?
Scar,
right?
Scar.
Yes.
Featuring JB.
Featuring J, yes. Featuring the
JB.
JB.
Yeah.
I'm a bit lost. Who'll be JB?
He's a British rapper.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
oh wow.
But so far, the songs that I think have been picking up serious steam is the Fra Band, You Feel the Vibe, with 1,000. You have Kwame Eugene with Cryptocurrency. Camidoh's Adole.
Good. Let's hold on right there with Kwame Eugene's song. Is it just me, or do you feel that it's okay? Maybe because I haven't been out much, because I was trying to do street listening as well. You know, sometimes how you drive by places and then you hear some songs on repeat all the time. I feel his old songs are still, you know, very, very powerful.
Oh, of course. Kwame Eugene's old catalog is
I'm not getting that same with the cryptocurrency.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi.
When Ghana has an international football match, what do we usually do when we are looking for a good team? What do we start? What's our first action?
Yeah, we import players, right?
We start looking who is where and of value today that we can put on our list and pretend that they are part of our team. It sounds like we are doing that. We are doing that fishing with music as well.
Okay, explain.
Who are our starting 11? Let's use football analogy. That if music was competitive business, and we know Nigeria's starting 11, we know SA starting 11, we know UK starting 11. Who are our starting 11? And what is the limitation that's causing those starting 11 that in the last 4 months we haven't been at par with any of our competitors or our peers? Because as much as Asaka might have a unique sound at this moment, only the track is titled what?
Oh Malinda.
It might be big now, it might be picking up, blah, blah, blah. It's like we've moved the goalpost again totally to what is trending or what is popping now, and giving the savior syndrome to that, because we haven't built any proper structure to leverage on. 3 months ago, it was Afrobeat, wasn't it? Asaka doesn't do Afrobeat.
No, they don't.
3 months ago, we could have sworn heaven and earth that based on the Sugar Canes and the bunch of other Ghanaian Afrobeat hits that were reigning, Afrobeats was our thing. If we were to call a top 11, we would have called Afrobeats artists. Maybe throwing the Black Sherif as your zero. Today, that we are saying we don't have any big trending, charting song in the last 4 months. We are going somewhere that we haven't looked at in the last 6 months. Is that wise? I throw the question back to us here on the panel.
Yes, and this question about Ghana music starting 11 is something that I've also actually thought about. And what kind of pressure are we supposed to, or expectation are we supposed to put on this starting 11? I mean, Cyril, you've opened something that I think I see a lot of media houses later on picking it up. Like, what is Ghana's real starting 11, music starting 11? If Ghana were playing a football match, and we are using the same analogy like you said for musicians, what is Ghana's starting 11? And this selection must be a selection of people that incorporate business, powerful brand, talent, talent, which is also tied into lyrical.
I think what we can do is we can all,
because then that informs our conversation about why our starting 11 haven't been able. Let me say haven't been able, should have by now given us music that has shown serious viral characteristics.
So are we looking at a starting 11 in form?
Let me answer for you with a question.
Like a top 11.
If I asked you to name Niger's starting 11, would you have any problem?
No. No, I don't. Nigeria. Nigeria. No. Let's go to the country.
No,
if I asked you
on the bounce, I can give you 6. Bro, for Ghana, on the bounce, I can give you 6 on top of my head.
I think we'll get 11.
We'll get 11 easy.
If I asked you to name Niger's starting 11, would you need any further clarification?
Well, I don't really.
Let's take it one step. Let's pretend we are in court.
I don't want you to bring in a Nigeria conversation. I don't want you to leave them. You put them aside. You understand? They've got the equation. It's fine. Let's focus on our problem. Let's talk about our own. Because you have a problem naming them. So you they go play Brazil. Then you stop that. But why are you doing that to us?
I can name 6 or
Ghana is going to play Brazil
in Ghana.
In Ghana,
I think in Ghana I can name 11.
I can name 7.
So Lenny, hear me. Give me your starting 11.
No, you need to give her time.
Yeah, she said she can't. Lawyer only.
Wait.
I would love for us to have our starting 11 individually.
Lawyer only.
So give it.
Production says lawyer only. I am saying lawyer only.
Okay, so Cyril, let me ask.
Why are you talking for Lenny?
This starting
Lenny
11
has raised their hand that she has 11. Let's hear her 11.
I'm coming. This starting 11 that you speak of, I want to ask something. This is supposed to be a mixture of the things I mentioned, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, sure. Lenny,
let's go. Name your 11 and then we go to Kilson.
Okay, so let me name my 11.
Yeah.
Sarkodie.
1.
Stonebwoy.
2.
Black Sherif.
3.
Gyakie.
4.
Kiddy.
5.
Kwami.
6.
Shatta.
7.
Kim Promise.
8.
8, right? Hold on.
Can I help her?
The network is down.
No, I'm not. No.
The network is down.
She has variety to say.
Yeah. I'm just thinking.
I give her
maybe there are Asaka boys, Bhad.
Yeah.
9.
She has so many artists.
Yeah, there's a lot. No, not him. Not that person.
Please
I have a name
ignore the
coming up in my mind, but yeah, not
listeners.
him. Who? Amaarae.
10.
That's 10. And then a last one. A last one for me.
There's a Kelvin Boy.
Kelvin Boy will be 10.
R2Bs.
No, Kelvin Boy will be 10 for me.
Okay. All right.
Will be 11 rather.
So now that you've listed it, I'll make my point when we come back.
Yeah, let's get Ato Kilson on the line as well. Ato, good morning. Ato, how are you doing? Let me get my headset on so I can hear you loud and clear. Ato, good morning.
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Okay, so I'm trying to see if we can hear you in here. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay.
How are you guys doing?
Wait, I'm struggling a bit with this. Yeah, great. Ato, awesome. Now loud and clear. Good morning. How you doing, my brother?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Yeah, we are fine in here. Ato, we're having a good conversation with regards to in the last 4 months, in Ghana, on the last quarter in Ghana, we're looking out for the songs, or artists that songs have managed to break the national boundaries, and gain a certain level of popularity and going viral. However, Cyril has raised another point to the conversation, which has got to do with trying to raise Ghana's top 11 artists. Before I even allow you to talk about the reasons why you think that we haven't got the music to that point, let me find out from you what your starting 11 would be.
For me, it will be very difficult to mention the starting 11, and the reason why I'll say this is because I don't want to face what Lenny faced earlier when she had difficulty
what did Lenny face
putting the
earlier?
names together. So I'll explain. She had difficulty putting the names together because there was something missing.
What was
She
missing?
kept playing in her mind to try and see who had the consistency for her to include. Because when you look at the Ghanaian music industry and most of the artists and the kind of outputs they have, a very big lacking factor is consistency. So we might have all the top artists, you might know all the top names, all the people on top of their game. But the very difficult thing is ascribing the consistency to the artist and their art.
I still don't get you when you say consistency. In what? In releasing music, or consistency in their dress code, or consistency in their... I want to understand, please.
So you see Cyril mentioned a number of things. Talent, quality of music, the brand and everything. All those things contribute the artist and their art.
Are you saying that there's no quality in the music you're hearing so far?
No. I'm not just the quality. There is no consistency in all the factors that make the artist and their music. So
I don't get you. So are you still saying that maybe Gyakie hasn't been consistent in releasing hits? Are you saying Kwame Eugene hasn't been consistent in releasing hits? Are you saying that Kitty hasn't been consistent in releasing hits? I want to understand it properly. Sorry, I'm pushing you to the wall, but I have to.
Okay, so let me give you an example. An artist could be consistent with the quality of music and the way they are releasing their music, but they might not be consistent with their marketing. They might not be consistent with their brand positioning. They might not be consistent with their interaction with fans, with other stakeholders, with other key players in the music industry. That is where the lacking focus is. We don't have that 360 approach to...
Yeah, but John Mensah is a defender. He's consistent with being a defender and not an attacker. Kudu's plays somewhere mid and forward. So there are areas that their consistency might be well felt. So, for example, if you talk about consistency in the way 4x4 has branded themselves as they dress very well, you can give it to them. If you talk about consistency in longevity, Prince Bright from Book Back has given you that. So I don't think... I'm asking that if Lenny has a pause in the flow of the mentioning of the list, is it necessarily because she thinks she's having a challenge trying to find, or she's splurged with a lot of options and trying to find a positioning for each one based on the things you've mentioned?
Trust me, there are no many options.
I had to think hard.
Let me go back to the analogy. Let me go back to the analogy.
So that okay.
So please go ahead.
Let me go back to the analogy you were using. John Mensah is the defender, but John Mensah would have to show up for training. John Mensah would have to show that he's fit. John Mensah would have to show that he's good when it comes to physiotherapy, with physical exercise, with everything. All those things come together to make him a good defender. It's going to be same for an attacker. It's going to be same for a midfielder. It's going to be same for a goalkeeper. So these are the things that are contributing to making a music artist who he or she is. So if you are lacking in all those places, I mean, for instance, if I were to take my WAEC exams right now and I get A in all my subjects and I get maybe 1 F9 or 2 F9s, I have still not passed, regardless of the fact that I'm still getting like a number of A's in other subjects. It's a 360 approach. And so when the consistency is not failed in all those areas, it becomes a problem.
I still beg to differ on this subject with regards to the consistency, because Sarkodie has been very consistent. The last time I checked, Stonebwoy's consistency and amplification has been super. The last time I also checked, someone like Shatta Wale has been a phenomenal artist in wealth, in his music, in his influence. In the last couple of years, collaboration coming off Beyonce and all that. These are all things that have given a certain rise with the artist's consistency. So I want to, on the conversation of consistency, are you saying that these artists that Lenny has listed haven't been consistent enough to be competitive in the markets we find ourselves in?
No. And I can give you examples.
Okay, I'm listening to the examples.
Okay, so in your submission right now, you were mentioning how Sarkodie has been consistent, Stonebwoy has been consistent, but with Shatta Wale, you weren't able to ascribe the consistency to him. Shatta Wale hasn't really been consistent. If you even look at certain things like his brand and even how he markets his music. Also, when you look at
I don't get that bit properly. If you can probably explain it, how hasn't he been consistent?
Okay, so with Shatta Wale, he puts out music almost every other week, right? Now, with the current trend we have that's going on, one thing people need to understand, and especially people who work in the music industry need to understand, is now music has become a more consumer-focused industry where it's a numbers game because there are a lot of consumers to deal with. So when you are when you are trying to judge an artist by like their impact and their reach and all that, you are looking at the number of streams they have, the number of people who are following them and all that. This is because we are judging them by the consumer and how they are consuming the product, which is the artist and the music. When you look at Shatta Wale, he hasn't been doing much to engage the consumer to pick up his product. I mean, we've all been saying the Mali album is great and all that. But can we point to certain instances or certain deliverables that we can say, okay, Shatta Wale has done this, Shatta Wale and his team have done this to activate the album. They have done this to make the wider audience or the wider reach aware that, okay, this is what I have for you. This is how my product is. This is how I'm positioning it. This is how you can consume it. This is how you can.
But Ato, I'm struggling to understand this. You are here proudly speaking of Mali because you have heard it. And as to how you heard it, whether on his page or on another person's page, somebody had to activate it for you to hear it. So I think even in you speaking about the Mali album already tells me that you have heard a certain album called Mali album released by Shatta Wale. And as to whether you have gone to listen to it, because I haven't listened to Adele's last album, not because I don't like Adele, because I'm not interested in her music. So I feel you are speaking more of interest in music than actual a consumer behavior, because the fact that maybe Timeless may have been spotted in a football stadium, in Bassa's football stadium, doesn't necessarily compel me to go and want to listen to it. It's my choice. So an album that has gone viral, that has shot up to number one, we did some calculations here on some projections. I think it's, if you ask me, the artist probably with his expectations has pushed the song to where he wants it to be. So you not finding interest in it might just be as a result of what you feel about the personality and his album. And that is what I'm getting from this convo with regards to your answer on the questions I'm asking. I don't know if you have anything to say about it.
So when you look at the various ways in which products are pushed to consumers, it's basically to raise interest. So if you are not pushing the product to raise my interest, I mean, for me, for instance, I create playlists for DSPs. So definitely, when an artist puts out music, like on my desk, I have close to 10,000 songs coming to me in a day. But it depends on how the artist and his team are pitching the song to me for me to consider listening to the song and also suggesting it to editors to put in a playlist. So you can pick my interest, but how are you picking the interest? How are you positioning yourself for me to say, okay, there's a lot of music my way, but I'm going to choose to listen to this. And I think that's where the problem is, because a lot of people have heard about Mali, but how many people have listened to the project? And that's where the problem is. Because you can put out a great product, you can put out great music and all that, but if you're not getting people to listen to the music, it's not really sticking. And as I said earlier, we have moved from that era.
So have you listened to the Mali album?
Yeah, I've listened to it.
Thank you very much.
I've listened to it.
Let me put you on.
I listened to it because if there's something Shatta Wale has, he has brand equity. Brand equity in the sense that he has been able to build some value for himself with respect to his old audience. So people who have been there from the Mia Evo days, from the Dancehall King days and all those days, know that Shatta Wale is good for it. But how are you?
Okay, sorry, because of time, I want to pick reviews, but don't go off yet, because I think Morgan Heritage is also releasing or about to release, okay. Right? Have they released? They're about to release. Ato, please don't go off. I want to have an in-house conversation as well here. They're about to release or they've released. But I tell you that I haven't listened to a Morgan Heritage album since I heard Djay Wash Away Our Tears. And upon all the world tours and things, it still hasn't gotten my attention yet to go listen. And it's also a matter of my choice, similar to a Mali or a Stonebwoy or a Sarkodie. But let me just speak in-house for you real quickly. I told still on the line though, but let's do a round conversation on this. Guys, please, before you talk, I want Ricky Tenneson, since this is a new guest.
Head of
A&R, because there's been a lot of conversations. So
let me drop my own, then we can leave Ricky. Because we are you see, guys, let's wake up.
Why? Were we sleeping?
As a nation,
maybe he's asleep.
As a nation, we bed. Oh, my guy.
Maybe he's really asleep.
Oh, no. As a nation, on God, we bed. We know say we bed. See, it's different being a celebrity, a music success in Ghana for Ghanaians. If we were measuring how popular or how successful Ghana music has been within the borders of Ghana in the last 4 months, it's been great. We've released music. We've consumed our own music. We know everybody who's dropped a song. We've all heard it. We all love it as Ghanaians. Is that our apex? If that's our apex and the measure of which we are extending ourselves, then we've won. Case closed. I am having the conversation from the world perspective that I am in Ghana. I
even
consume.
Africa, let's keep it to even just Africa.
Fair enough. Let's keep it to Africa. I'm here and people's marketing reaches me. People's brand activations reach me. People's PR reaches me. You understand? People create and curate music across the continent, and it reaches me here, regardless whether I'm looking for it consciously or not. Do we have that same impact as Ghanaian creators? That is the question I ask.
But are you Cameroonian?
No, you're not hearing me, bro.
Because you are in Ghana, so you don't know whether it's being consumed elsewhere. That's what I'm asking.
It's not. We've seen the stats.
How can you judge by that?
We've seen the stats. The number one consumption platform is the streaming sites, the DSPs, and we've seen those stats, and we are not doing anything noteworthy there. So apart from that, of course, I cannot.
The last time top 100 came out when we were having the debate on the top 100, we took on we had an opportunity to see other regions, to hear or to actually identify what's doing, which Ghanaian songs are doing what in other countries, and clearly, we were not showing that. But you see, I'm coming. Cyril was saying something.
Yeah,
even locally, when you were talking about the impact of Ghanaian songs in the last 4 months, it has been dominated by just one person. I was just checking, and in the last 6 months, we've actually put so much pressure on Black Sherif. And it only made sense that in the last 6 months, he hasn't dropped anything, because there was so much pressure on him. If you look at in the last year or 2 or 1.5 years, his first song was First Sermon. Then he dropped Second Sermon. Then he dropped Second Sermon Remix. Then he dropped Kweku the Traveler. Then Soja. Right after
the album.
Then he dropped the album. And if you look at the album, I was checking, a lot of the songs on the album actually did well. 45, everybody knows it. Konungo Zongo, everybody knows it. Oil in My Head, O Paradise. Like, for one album to have dominated almost, and this is just not streams, every place you enter, every club, every taxi, every whatever, what that meant was, the guy, I said, because there was nobody actually competing with him. There was an era where when the Asaka boys broke out, Yao Tog was doing well, Kweku Flake was doing well, Kofi Jama was doing well. So even though, like, you had a lot of stars, but there was no focus on just one artist. In this case, it seems like it's just Blacko in your face, like everywhere, for like nearly 6 months, which was very risky. So for me, what I saw was, it was a good strategy. Maybe that wasn't it. But for me, I think it's a good strategy that for 6 months, they decided that, Charlie, guys, let me just stay away from, pushing out more music. Because now it's like, because we haven't heard so much of him, everybody is in wait for the next Blacko tune. And you can jump to it because for the past 6 months, you don't hear of the boy. And it's very risky that for 6 months, it's just one artist you keep hearing over and over and over and over and over again. And it was on the back of that, Lenny was actually struggling. Now, if we even have to drill down to the names Lenny mentioned, in the last year, she mentioned Kim Promise. What is that biggest Kim Promise song? You only mentioned your top 11 or your Ghana's best 11 on the basis of top of mind.
Yeah.
Top of mind, but not really value or not really currency. Because what's Kim Promise's biggest song in the last 1 year? I'm not sure you know. I'm not sure Shiro can mention any big song. I'm not sure Lily can. Statistics man. I'm not sure he can. You mentioned Kelvin Boy. What is Kelvin Boy's biggest song? After Down Flat, which was 2 years ago. Down Flat was 2 years ago. He's in our top 11. Meanwhile, no song deserved D.
Down Flat was last year.
No, it wasn't last year. It was 2 years ago.
2 years
Really?
ago.
Oh, but the
social
remix,
media held it down
remix
last
was,
year.
The remix
But
was
the song
last
It
year.
extended on social media last year.
We actually left out Camidoh. Maybe Camidoh would have replaced someone else. But even Camidoh's Sugarcane was like, it's been over a year, more than a year. Who else did you mention? You mentioned Gyakie. Gyakie fits in there with something. But even
I
something...
mentioned Sarkodie,
As a something, a
Stonebwoy.
soundtrack, just in case you are confused.
Yeah.
So
I
seriously,
mentioned Gyakie, Sarkodie, Stonebwoy.
Sarkodie
If-
comes
even,
inside.
Wale.
even Stonebwoy, if we are really going to do a proper assessment,
Stonebwoy will be tough.
yeah.
Because between Therapy and Gidigba, I don't know which
No,
song
but
did.
for the Stonebwoy, we know, you see, let's keep the standard.
More of you.
Let's keep the standard.
More
We know
of it
Stonebwoy's
this year,
standard
so-
when we say a Stonebwoy hit song. Why do you keep looking at Cyril like
Bafira or...
Yeah, no, all the songs that he's had, all the successes that, in regards to his music. If we look at the height those songs have actually reached, Therapy and Gidigba have not actually hit that.
And that's because they are pretty much not the
Usual
conventional
Stonebwoy.
Typical, yeah.
Stonebwoy we know,
but come on.
so it's fair because it's if the fans get to appreciate Stonebwoy for this direction, perhaps
It should
this
affect
year-
when he releases.
Because his sound has changed.
changed.
So,
So-
then
so-
you get onto his new sound.
No, but
and
then
you
if
start
his
to
sound
digest that.
if his sound has changed
Chow,
and his,
chow, chow,
and his,
chow,
and his
chow.
audience, he already has an existing audience and he's changed. He's introduced a new sound that should actually introduce new audiences.
Look, I think
so he
that
should be even
applies-
getting more.
Bro, I think that applies to everybody. Sack's EP or
Jams.
Playlist.
It's not typical Sack.
No, it's not.
Why
not- it's not-
why does anybody say that?
No.
No,
When
but
I'm
it's a-
saying
it is-
that,
It is
bro,
sing chorus and rap.
No.
Sing chorus.
Yes,
and,
even
which
though,
Sarkodie
Bro,
does.
the sound
listen, listen, hear me out. Sack's big songs that
Yeah.
they hit for Miami, for town.
How different is it from Runtown? Baby, smile for your body. The one he did with Runtown. How different is this album from what he did with
It is
Runtown?
different. Same way we are saying Shatta's Mali album is not your typical. It's for what did you say? You mentioned something. You say it's for hardcore,
Hardcore
blah
dancehall.
blah 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 blah. We've seen that at least 3 or 4 of our top Big 10 are either redefining themselves or putting out projects that are not typical of their past successes. Right? Might that change in strategy, especially Sack, Stone, Shatta? Might that strategy be the reason why, as much as they have hits on these projects, the hits are not?
Which hits were even on the project? Let's be clear.
Oh, I've not Fifth Dimension. I've not heard it. Mali, honestly, I've not listened fully yet. The only
But
thing
Fifth Dimension is not
It's
even
not
out.
even
I
yet
mean,
out.
they
That's what I'm
just
saying,
did
it's
the
not
private
out.
listening.
That's what
but-
I said. I said it's not out. I've not listened. Mali, I've not listened fully. the only project I've listened fully is Jams. So I can't answer that question now. Maybe if we review them, then we can talk about that. Right. But all I'm saying is that when I say Stonebwoy, like you rightly said, there are some songs that will forever be timeless hits of Stonebwoy. Right. Same way when I say Sack, there are some songs that will be timeless hits. But the growth, business, whatever, blah, 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 has seen that our artists are evolving from those timeless hits. Right. You get what I'm saying? I'm asking that, is that evolution part of the reason why the impact is not like before? Or is it that the impact is just low?
For me, I think...
I don't know if the question land.
It land. What I see is the new audience, or, at every time we've been saying, we're used to Sack giving us a particular vibe because the era that Sack was Sack and the consumers, the active music users that time was myself, Foley, yourself. There was a certain vibe we were used to. Now, the new active music users, the kiddies, they come, their sound or their listening pattern is different.
Totally.
So obviously, if Sack wants to compete or if Sack wants to satisfy those audiences, obviously he needs to switch up.
Okay.
But in switching up, lastly, switching up, what I realized that maybe our top guys are missing out is in switching up, the lifestyle of these audiences is also different from how, first, how you used to introduce songs to these people are way different now. Like, these new listeners have a different way they actually consume music. So we understand that their ears have changed, but how we now give them the music is what we are losing out on. And we need to find that, that answer to it.
We have to wrap up now. I know the conversation was getting very heated, but this is what I see us doing in wrapping up. My house is on fire. I don't in my house, a scenario. My house is on fire. And I call fire service. On their way to quench the fire for me, I drop nails and glass and sticks on the road for their tire to burst so that it slows them down to come and quench my own fire. And then when they don't quench the fire, then I turn to them and say, you people are not hardworking, you're doing this.
So why you say you are being
intentional
with
the
slow pace of music, Ghana music?
The Ghanaian music industry is being heavily challenged with the Ghanaian himself consuming a lot of foreign music and not pushing our own. And we turn back to them and push hard on them about how they are not creating good music when we don't have the machine to push them and all the things. But if you ask me, a kid is a very powerful artist.
All right.
Kwami's song is a very powerful song. The currency music with Rotimi.
Cryptocurrency.
It's a very, very, very powerful song. What we need to have done was to have given it a little more extra listening attention. So we can have all 31 million Ghanaians listen to the song on stream. If they all have,
who's responsible for
they
that?
all have all the devices. Unfortunately, not everybody has got the streaming device. So what happens to them? They can do all they can. Unfortunately, it won't get anywhere. On the back of this not getting anywhere, I hope this conversation gets somewhere. So go on YouTube, like, share, stream it. Ricky, thank you very much.
I cannot for come safe.
Bye-bye.
But this we have to do a part 2 on this conversation. Because
the Ghana top 11, we have to find
the things that you have said are so true.
Yeah.
All the things that have been, Ricky, you just said, Cyril just said us was very, very, very true. And you gave us some good insights. Ricky gave us some good insights into, it just opened my mind up to the fact that, yes, really, all these artists haven't been able to put songs that have,
resonating effect.
Yes, that's music. But there must be a reason.
Maybe the listeners,
there must be a reason.
The listeners are tired.
They can't be tired. We can't use that as an excuse. Like, the listeners can't be tired.
To bring you Culture Daily. I want to sack the programs manager. I want to sack him. Can I be put on him whilst he exists in the studio?
Have a good week.